Well, one of the cornerstones of American democracy is freedom of speech.
That's right, but in the age of social media, it has presented some uncharted territory. That was made clear in a Supreme Court ruling last week in a case related to the First Amendment rights of students. The court ruled in favor of a high school student in Pennsylvania named Brandy Levy, who had posted on Snapchat cursing after she didn't make her school's varsity cheerleading squad. She was suspended from the school's JV squad as a result.
News Center Maine's Chloe Tebow joins us live this morning from Cumberland to explain how freedom of speech in schools is being brought to light right here in Maine. Hi, Chloe.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, faculty members at school districts around the country, like MSAD 51 in Maine, are having this conversation. In Brandy Levy's case, the Supreme Court determined her school district didn't have sufficient cause to restrict her First Amendment rights since that video was posted off campus. The court said in some cases restrictions would be okay, though. The hope is clearer guidelines will continue to be established in a digital age.
It's hard to draw these lines, so I think people were expecting the court to grapple with these questions.
Dimitri Baum is the vice dean of the University of Maine School of Law. He says he's not surprised by the recent Supreme Court ruling in Mahanoy Area School District versus Brandy Levy.
The court has been much more protective on the First Amendment in recent years.
It's conversation he thinks is essential as the world navigates the era of social media.
One of the concerns the court had is if you can regulate off-campus speech, well, then the school can kind of control the student 24 hours a day.
This was an excellent decision by the U.S. Supreme Court.
Zachary Hayden with the ACLU of Maine says when it comes to freedom of speech among students,
part of a student's education is learning how to be participants in our democracy. And to be involved in leading a democracy, you have to be able to speak freely.
Now, some school districts around Maine are reconsidering where they should and shouldn't intervene.
Because there's been no other guidance for decades, schools were almost asked, to take care of a lot of things off campus that quite honestly, we really probably shouldn't be dealing with.
The conclusion, if off-campus speech is targeting other school members or disrupting the school's academic mission, the school should get involved. Remote learning during the pandemic has raised new realities, too.
We're talking about the potential of creating a kind of an alternative virtual schoolhouse to be connected to Brewer. And we would expect that all the limits that we have in the building exist in that virtual schoolhouse.
A key message, finding balance.
The exploration of the world is not always a comfortable exploration, and it's not always 100% polite, and it's not always popular.
And Dimitri Baum at UMaine Law says the Supreme Court's decision in this case allows states and districts to make some rules for themselves to try to best address students' freedom of speech issues. Live in Cumberland this morning, Chloe Tebow, News Center, Maine.